Hello everyone, Chef here. Recently, with the release of Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 4, a lot of news has come out regarding the game, and it explains a lot on why this past year of the game has been so all over the place, and why the storyline hasn't linked up that well between seasons. So the first bombshell that was dropped was that Chapter 4 Season 4 was supposed to be the second season of this chapter, and Chapter 4 Season 2 was supposed to be the fourth, and with this information, things start to make a lot more sense. The most wanted event in Season 1 was a teaser of sorts for the last resort, and instead of the Rift Gate bringing in the Mega Biome, it would have instead brought in the resort locations, which would have made a lot more sense since Eclipse State takes over the Citadel where the Rift Gate was. It just makes sense how they would have got there instead of the resorts randomly appearing and replacing other locations. Then the second bombshell, and the whole reason I made this video. In the files, there's information saying that Chapter 4 Season 2 and Chapter 4 Season 3 were supposed to be seasons in Chapter 3. From this, I think I can safely say that Chapter 4 Season 1 and Chapter 4 Season 4 were supposed to be Season 5 and Season 6 of Chapter 3. Really, Chapter 4 shouldn't exist. And for more proof that these were supposed to be seasons in Chapter 3, on the night of the last resort's launch, on the bottom right hand side corner of the cosmetics releasing, it said the season was Chapter 3 Season 6. And from this, a lot more things start to make sense and start to link up, such as why Fracture was so bad. Because the event wasn't supposed to happen, it was rushed out quickly, made with the switch of the new chapter. Why on the launch of Chapter 4, everything was so buggy and didn't work properly. Again, because the map and mechanics were rushed in order to meet a deadline. The most wanted event, instead of leading nowhere, it would have been a precursor to the last resort. Why the seasons barely link up with each other, storyline wise. The introduction of Serenade and Triarch Nox and disappearance of them. Why the monoliths appeared in Season 2, then were removed with Season 3. And why Optimus Prime mentioned in Season 3 that the island was exposed and dangerous threats can now see where the island is located. But why is that? What at Epic Games caused this big of a change? Well, I think the main thing is that they wanted the game to stay fresh, so people are still engaged and interested in it. Since Chapter 2 went on longer for a year, and during that, a massive decline in interest for the game occurred. So they thought up what I call the yearly chapter cycle to maintain relevance, which I think is going to continue, even though it is a really stupid idea. It does work, as proven with Chapter 4. They just took all the seasons that were supposed to follow on from Chapter 3 Season 4, made a new map, switched things about, and boom, we have Chapter 4. And with all this information putting the pieces in place to solve the puzzle for us, I thought I'd talk about what Chapter 3 of Fortnite could have been if it continued on from Season 4. And in order to talk about that, I need to talk about everyone's favourite event, Fracture. You all know how Fracture played out, the key events being put in a cutscene, the event being a glorified minigame that can be made in creative in under an hour. But something a lot of people have forgotten about, the TikToks Fortnite posted leading up to the event, with characters looking up at the sky in shock, alongside the teaser image for Fracture. In the teaser we can see chrome tornadoes ripping apart the island, and pieces of it flying into the air as we try and hold on and not get sucked in. And from this, I can start to connect the dots. I believe the Fracture we saw in the teaser image would have followed the same sort of ending as Fracture, but on a smaller scale. This event would have been a lot more interactive than the one we got. Instead of the island being completely destroyed, I think the chrome tornadoes would have ripped apart the island, with big chunks of it still remaining, making Paradigm still having to enact Zero Fusion to merge the map back together, and to fill in the empty spaces, she would have had to bring in more chunks of mass from other realities, such as the Oathbound, and maybe other places on the Chapter 4 map. And from there, Chapter 3 could have carried on exactly how they originally planned it. Chapter 3 Season 5 sees the introduction of the Oathbound, Amy going to look for the Seven, the construction and destruction of the Rift Gate, and the Most Wanted event. Chapter 3 Season 6 has the introduction of Couldve Thorn, the shapeless man of Riftward and Stellan streams, in the tease of time travel, with the island slowly starting to crumble due to the unstable nature of it. Chapter 3 Season 7 has the introduction of a massive jungle, with the return of Dr. Sloan, who managed to survive collision, working through the season to activate the apparatus. Chapter 3 Season 8 then sees the apparatus activated, somehow bringing in the Mega Biome and the return of the last reality. What would or will happen next is kind of up in the air at the moment, as at the time of making this video, it's still Chapter 4 Season 4, and not much is known about Season 5, apart from it only being a month long. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how everything unfolds. And I wouldn't be surprised in a couple months if the original Fracture event gets leaked alongside the Chapter 3 map following on from Season 4. And now I think about it, there is actually a way that they could make all of this make sense in the story, since Couldve Thorn has a time machine. Realistically, it could be explained that Couldve Thorn travelling about through time caused all these events to happen in the wrong order, but who am I kidding? That will not happen. And I think the story is going to continue in this direction, with the departure of Donald Mustard from Epic Games, who had no input at all with the story of Chapter 4. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, like it. If you didn't, dislike it. What are your thoughts on this situation? Personally, I think it's made everything make sense. Comment down below, but this is all for now, and see ya.